Marc here, and welcome again to RC Hacker Gaming, or Lazarus Gaming. Still haven't decided on what I'm going to call this channel. Anyway, we are playing Kerbal Space Program again, and I'm still on career mode. And on our last mission, we did a combined lunar orbit rescue, and we landed on the moon as well and collected a load of science data. And we learned how to aerobrake. Not because we wanted to learn how to aerobrake, it really is quite a pain in the bum to do, it takes a lot of time. But we pulled it off. However, we did lose our science package, which was our Science Junior, which are fragile little units. And what I was thinking of doing is redesigning my ship, redesigning Moon Rescue V2, and I think we're not doing any rescue at the moment, so we're going to call it, let's load him up and we'll rename him for starters. Oh no, we'll stick with Moon Rescue and we'll call it V3. Right, now we have some extra technology we can use now. But first thing I want to do is I want to fix this little pig's breakfast here and stop this baby from overheating. And how are we going to do that? Well, I was thinking of swapping these two around, swapping the Science Junior with that fuel tank and putting them the other way around. And how to do that, I'm guessing we have to do something like this. Now, of course, they're all slightly out of whack now. Now I want to join that one to the science module, a little bit higher there. Slap them next to each other and stick a few welds and she'll be right. A bit low. It's quite tricky to get these lined up the way you want sometimes. There we go. Beautiful. And while we're at it, we'll have to go down and just check our reinforcing. Remember I put a few struts in here. Just if you move parts that are held together by struts like that, it's quite often just a good idea to reset them. See how that one's not actually attached to anything anymore. There we go, now that one's attached. And we needed a bit more strength down there. If you can remember, this was this whole assembly was flopping around like no one else's business. Oh, that's a bit crooked. See that? Alright, so I'm gonna have to repeat that process. Yeah, that's not quite in the right spot. Close enough. Let's see, and they're out of whack again. So just reset them. Oh, that's a bit crooked. That doesn't look great, does it? That one worked. Now, what I might do is I might make a habit of this, of putting all my rocket designs, and I'll link to them below in the description below, which will I'll have to be disciplined about it, so remind me if they're not there. But I'll attempt to save these rocket designs so you can have a play around with them at home and edit them and change them if you like. Now, if you remember, these were flopping around in the wind a bit, so I'm going to add some more structure down here, just a bit more strengthening down the bottom there to hold those two halves together as well. There we go. So our Science Junior is reconfigured and is around the other way now. I am hoping that will make a difference. I'm going to have to test this. I hope it makes a difference anyway. Bring those down as far as possible. So we're all balanced still. We've still got the same amount of mass on each side, so our handling should be exactly the same still. Let's hope anyway. Now, what other new technologies did we come across? We've got these little radiator panels. They will kind of look cool. We're all adding mass. The more mass I add to this setup at the moment, the more I'm going to reduce the delta V of that stage. So currently the delta V of there is 1522, and if I'd even just add one there, it's a little sacrifice. I'm just sticking those there because that might help with my re-entry. It's going to drag up this side a bit. Maybe I should stick them up here. Stick them on the side there like that. That looks a bit poxy. Looks really poxy. I probably don't need them. I haven't experimented with these much. Maybe they'll be the solution. I might test fly this and then try it. Test fly it first and then try it. Alright, the other new technology that we had, let's look at the fuel systems. These fuel ducts. Now these are really, really handy. We can do stuff called asparagus staging. Now, basically, you pick a fuel tank that you want fuel to flow from and pick a fuel tank where you want it to flow to. So, I'm going to have one doing it like so. Might be able to do the mirror image of this while I'm at it. So I'm going to have one there like so, and I'm going to do the same on this other side. And what does that allow me to do? Now that allows me to fire all those rockets at once, all these engines at once, all 6 underneath, and then when I jettison these tanks will be completely empty and the ones in the middle will be still full, even though these other ones are still burning away and burning fuel down there. And we can improve on this. I can improve on this. Let's add more boosters, because more boosters are always good. This might be a little bit too much. So I've added another booster there. I'm going to remove that fuel duct. I don't want to mirror image that booster actually, because that'll be mirroring into the wrong spot. So I'm going to put that one there. Yes. And copy him and put this one over here. I don't quite get too many points for symmetry, but you get the idea. And then I'm going to run a fuel pipe from there to there, from there to there, from there to there, and finally from there to there. So the theory is we're going to have to change our staging just a little bit. This rocket's really starting to get porky. So there's that one and that one on the other side. So I want those ones to be jettisoned first. So those 2 outer ones, I want to jettison them first, and then we'll jettison the next 4 inner ones. And you can see my delta V has gone up to 7,500. It's quite a bit larger, which is good. That's a good thing. An extra 300 meters per second is good. And we'll give this a test flight. This is sort of it's an asparagus stage in a way. I lost my, I thought I put these on the last video. What happened to them? Did I not save it properly or something? Okay, so we've got our AVR8 winglets. Yes, check. We may not need these winglets so much, but I'm going to move those to the boosters instead, because by the time I dump these boosters, we're going to be well out of the atmosphere, so that'll just transfer a bit of mass. So we dump the mass of those winglets as we're going up. I don't know if I got them all in line. Yep, they're all about in line. Cool, goody goody. And I do believe that's gone up a bit just by moving those winglets around. And I think that's all I really want to do as far as technology upgrades on this rocket. Now our initial thrust to weight ratio is lower again because I'm carrying these extra boosters, but once we fire them we're going to get a whole lot more thrust, and she's going to go up quite quickly, and we've got 5 stages now. So we'll just double check all the staging, solid rocket boosters, then we dump all those solid rocket boosters in one hit, and we start up our second stage there, and then we're gonna dump these outer ones, so they'll be dumped off while the others are all under complete power, and then we'll dump these 4, we'll dump off together, and finally we will dump that long center stage, hopefully when we're very close to the moon and about to go in. But I'm going to do a test flight, and I just want to see how we go with re-entry with this, just by swapping that unit around, if that's going to help with my re-entry or not, and stop that Science Junior overheating. So let's do a quick test flight. We're over mass, 147.03 tons. I need to upgrade. What do I need to upgrade? Oh, so close. So still 142 tons. Right, let's do an upgrade. What do we need to upgrade? I'd say it's the launch facilities. Oh, we can afford it. Excellent. Unlimited, unlimited. So there we go. We've got a brand spanking new launch facility. Good-o. Right, let's select a pilot. We got Jeb. Jeb, you got yourself in there. Cool. Alright. Whoops, wrong one. Well, there's more than one way to get to the launch pad. And our ship we're going to use is our Moon Rescue V3 and our pilot, and let's launch. Oh, now remember, we're still wobbly on the launch pad here, and again that'll be another upgrade. We'll add our launch arms to hold our rocket up. Let's go! Lift, lift, go, go, go! We are airborne. That's interesting. Look at these sagging out a little bit. Never really noticed that. So we're going to test a few things. I'm just going to get it into orbit. We'll test that all our release and everything happens properly, and that our fuel feeds all work. And if that's all successful, then we'll if I can enter and not blow up my science module as I come in and re-enter the atmosphere, then we will be able to we'll have a very nice vessel for doing research on the moon. Now remember, there's all those biomes, there's the different biomes on the moon there. And each one of those biomes has got a whole lot of science in there that we can collect. But I want to get a spacecraft that's relatively cheap to operate and will give me plenty of science. Alright, we're about to run out. And we're away. Oh, I could have almost put parachutes on that big booster pack. Could have returned on its own. I'm not going to slow this down. I'm just going to blast through and go up flat out this time. So you can see the fuel levels here are dropping differently for each engine, and that's to do with those fuel pipes that we've got on there. You can see these landing legs create a bit of drag there. She's climbing and tracking beautifully. Staging is almost correct. I've still got to remember to move these two down here. Right, those outer rockets are about to run out. We can jettison those, and you'll notice everything else is, well, pretty much full. Pretty much full. I missed something. Maybe I need to run lines elsewhere. Oh no, look, that's close enough, really. We're literally punching our way out of the atmosphere here. I might make a slight modification to this asparagus staging and drop an alternating pair of these next, and then the last two, to make it a true asparagus setup. Because they're slightly out of whack here with the amount of fuel they've got there. I'm almost ready to start coasting. Oh, there we go. Let's let that coast up for a moment there. Jeb's getting some mad skills here. Mad piloting skills. Even though I'm practically in free fall, there's a little bit of atmospheric effect happening with these control surfaces, and these also have a bit of a torque effect as well. Now once I dump these boosters here, my thrust to weight ratio is going to be reduced significantly. They're almost empty now, but once they're gone, once I dump all these tanks and motors and stuff, I've only had the two swivel motors to run off. So I'll give it the beans now. It's going to bring my apoapsis up quite a bit higher, but that's okay, because we want this thing to take us to the moon. But one pair of rockets is going to run out. There we go. let them go a bit until the other two run out completely. I can jettison those 4. Beautiful, and those tanks are full. Now let's start circularizing our orbit. I don't want to rise up too much, so I'm going to nose it down a bit there. And we're in orbit with a total of 4,000 meters per second delta V to spare, which is pretty good actually. Certainly enough to get to the moon and back, I think. Alright, let's test this ahead of time, and I've quick saved it so I can go back to this point. I don't have to go through that whole launch again if I get this right. And we'll jettison all that lovely fuel and those motors, and bring this in to land. You know what, I'm going to be bringing this in at quite a steep angle, so I might decircularize my orbit quite a bit now, and then come in, bring it in at something a bit more realistic. We're not quite going to do a flyby of the moon, but we'll get out to about that orbit and then see if this puppy can survive. I might just run out of delta V doing this. So that'll bring us up to about the orbit that we want to, and so we'll warp up to the apoapsis there, and then we'll test this design out on a real capture. Reduce that periapsis down to, let's be a little bit harsh, why not? 40? 37. Let's go with 37. And while we're at it, we'll do a bit of science. Oh, there's a bucket load of science there. No. Balls that up. Let's bring that back up to 35. Bring that back up to 35. There's our little temperature gauge. Lock that temperature. 12 science. There's a mystery goo container in there somewhere. There we go. Observe that goo. Crew report. No, he's not in there. He's in the other one. Do an EVA. Nah, done that. Alrighty. Let's see if this puppy will survive. And we'll bring it... bring it nose in while I'm at it. Quite a bit of extra mass here. Now I do hope that it's protected a bit better than it was. We're looking good so far. It's our service bay that's getting the hottest. Did I close the doors on it? Yes, I did. Now we're rising again here. I wonder if I can flip it around. No! I can't flip it around. What did I lose then? Might have been a battery sticking out or something? Oh, I've got a flight log. No, we don't have a flight log. I wonder what blew up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it looks like one of our batteries exploded. It's sticking out just a little bit too much. It's okay, we can live with a battery exploding. Just like Boeing can live with it, eh? Right. So, So far, so good. We survived that, no problems, and we went right down to 35. So I'm going to bring it around again, and as I'm coming in here, I'm going to kill that velocity as I hit this point here. Let's do that. So I'm gonna dump this velocity a bit earlier. Let's take advantage of our new stability skills here. Right, that's a definite, we're gonna hit. We're definitely coming in now. Oh, a bit all over the place there. Now we want to enter prograde. That seemed to be the healthiest option. And let's hope that we're not coming in too steep. We are coming in quite steep there. Never tried it this steep before. So let's just use the shape of this a little bit. It seems to be working quite well. I'm giving it. Well, something's gone critical there. What part is that? Some of the command pods is getting rather hot. Can't have one of them blowing. Here we go. Oh dear. We've lost half of our aircraft. And our next bit to blow is going to be... Oh. I'm really coming in like a bullet here. I think we overdid it just a little bit. Oh, will we make it? Will we make it? Flying like a bullet. We're definitely not coming down, we're still going across. And can we launch that chute now? Wow, that was a bit dramatic, but we did get that sights thing down.